She used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I saw?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the show's on TV?
I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you're aware that there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows.
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show's called a pilot. And they show that one show to the people who pick shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't and become nothing. She starred in one of the ones that became nothing. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my bitch Cassidy. It's Captain Bill Branzish here. Good evening.
I don't mind being a bitch.
I know that about you, and that's why I did that.
I've been a bitch to a lot of people.
Believe me, I know.
You know what?
You're looking at one of them.
And a lot of people have been my bitch.
Oh, shit.
A lot of girls been my bitch.
Okay, let's talk about the word bitch. With someone that says, okay, so I went to I think it was a hockey game last year, and right when I got there, they were winding down. It wasn't just a dog show, but it was like exclusively a collie show, an exhibition room full of just cages and pins, collies everywhere. Collies to the left of me, collies to the right of me. You go in there and you start saying where my bitch is at. Someone's gonna come up and say, "Oh, we have an area of bitches over here.
Right.
These are some northern collie bitches over." And like, how did that word evolve from like being like a female dog? Is it in heat? Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah.
Versus just calling someone a bitch and how that's changed in meaning over the years.
I don't know. And just think if we wouldn't have had that word, what we would be calling women that we were
broads
mad at. No, women you're mad at.
Oh,
or no,
like,
because they say my bitches. So like
tricks, hoes, I don't
cunts,
know. Chicken heads, thoughts. You've heard thought, right? THOT. That's a word. That's a ghetto fabulous word you could use to describe a.
I need to watch more movies.
Yeah, that's right. I learned all my slang from movies.
Y'all crazy thought butt. You fuck so good I'm on top of butt.
That's pretty good.
Hey.
Not bad. You're on top of your game tonight.
That's still ought to be determined.
Well, let's bring you in strong by saying, on top of your game, do you have the results of the Captain's Challenge? And for the people who don't know what the Captain's Challenge is, every week on Couch Pilots, we talk about TV shows that had one episode, TV shows that didn't make it past number one, except for last season where we had 10 episode seasons. And during those 10 episodes, you picked 5 shows and I picked 5 shows.
Yep. And
what?
Huh?
Shows that we love.
Shows that made it.
That made it and that we love.
And what we did was we decided that we would calculate the total downloads. You would get credit for the downloads on your episodes,
yep.
and I would get the credit for the downloads on my episodes. And at the end of it, we would tally that up, and we would see who was the Pilots Challenge champion.
It's just that easy, right? Yeah. It's just that easy. And I know you've hooked up the pachinko machines to some of the downloads. And
I've been going through a lot of punch cards. Mm-hmm. I've been doing a lot of arithmetic.
We don't really talk about the pachinko machines very much anymore, but they're 2 7,000-pound non-electrical machines that calculate all the numbers that have to do with Couch Pilots, whether it be our frequent flyers, aka our listeners,
right,
and all of the frequent flyer points they accrue. Anything number-wise that has to do with Couch Pilots, they calculate, including the Captain's Challenge.
Right, and you can get those points by downloading the show, telling a friend about the show, posting about the show.
Yeah,
any of those things, the pachinko machines calculate, and they
know
keep track of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a master list of where everybody stands with it.
Right.
It's kind of like top secret because we don't,
You don't want to get that out there. No. As far as we're concerned, everyone is equal. Wink. There's a few people at the top. But what did you pull from the pachinko machine concerning the challenge of last season?
Well, I think the best thing for us to do is for you to play some music for a victory speech. And
okay. What kind of victory speech do you want? What kind of music?
This is fine.
This will do?
Yeah, this will do. Are you ready for the speech? Are you ready? Why don't you go ahead and introduce me, and then I'll do the speech. It's like the Academy Awards.
Can you wet up the mic a little bit?
Can I wet it up?
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I can.
No, you don't. Don't do that.
I will. I'll go crazy on it. How's that? That's
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, your mic.
Yeah, mine.
Hold on.
Why would we do yours? I'm making the announcement, right?
Right.
And then you can do whatever you want. I'm announcing you.
Okay. Let's wet the mic and go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to announce the winner of the Captain's Challenge. Please give it up for Captain Philip Rest Assured.
Thank you, everyone. The winner of the Couch Pilots Challenge was me. So do you want to be wet again and then introduce me to give my speech?
No.
Let's do that. You're wet again.
What?
The winner of this year's Captain's Challenge is Captain Philip Rest Assured. This is his first win and his 15th nomination. Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you, everyone. This is truly an amazing honor. Thank you. I have so many people to thank for this award.
You're reading something. You've prepared. You knew you were going to win, and you prepared a speech.
That's correct. Kind of ruined it by interrupting me.
Awesome!
Thank you, everyone. This is truly an amazing honor. And you know me. I don't give speeches.
Yeah.
There's only a few speeches in my life that I've prepared for or that I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I haven't got the chance. But this is the platform,
All right. Yeah, this is it.
I don't beat you very often.
No, you don't. It hurts.
Well, wait till after my speech. We'll see. You better put that on loop. It's a long time.
It's been on loop.
Thank you, everyone. This is truly an amazing honor. I have so many people to thank for this award. I'm hoping the producers can bear with me and not cut off the music and not cut me off. Sorry, I'm nervous. Not cut off the mic and roll the music before I'm done. I knew from the start that the Pilots Challenge that I would be the underdog. So many people said I didn't have a chance. That I couldn't compete with Captain Black in this race, or any other race for that matter. Well, except the number of women I've betted. That's a no-brainer. Nobody will ever be able to achieve my greatness. #100 plus. Thank you. Thank you. But anyway, I'm sorry. I tend to ramble. I tend to ramble when I'm nervous. Here we go. I first would like to thank Jason and insert name here for bestowing upon me the honor of being the best man for their wedding. I have known Jason for many years, and I consider him one of my dearest friends and closest friends. And I know he feels exactly the same way. Insert name here. Has done the impossible in getting the ultimate bachelor to settle down. She has looked past the number of flaws and idiosyncrasies and accepted him for who he is.
This isn't about your win.
Bear with me. A broken down middle-aged man who needs 24-hour around-the-clock care. Could, insert name here, have done better? Sure. But we are all grateful for her sacrifice and kind heart. It's as if she adopted a special needs elderly dog with one leg missing and PSD from being a fighting dog bait. But I digress. I'm sorry. These two human beings are now bonded in holy matrimony.
This isn't about the Captain's Challenge.
And I couldn't be more happier for them. This award is not for me. This award is for everyone out there who never were believed in, who has been bullied and intimidated by their co-hosts, or made to feel like their jokes aren't as funny as their co-hosts. This award is for you. When I first met insert name here, I told her she was fighting a losing battle. But she never gave up. I told her that Jason had much to offer except a fear of commitment and financial stability. She didn't care. She pressed on like a soldier on the front lines of Beach Normandy. Some would call, insert name here, crazy, but I call her a saint. Jason, I know, because I am literally your best friend, right now is the luckiest man in the world because he has finally found someone to complete him. Insert name here is his 20% to her 80%.
Huh?
I didn't win this award for myself. I'd like to thank my campaign manager, Dee Dee, for really talking me off the ledge with this Alice thing and making me replace it with the pilot of Futurama. Without her... I spent a lot of time on this. Without her guidance, I'm sure I would have still beat Captain Black, but maybe not by such a landslide. Speaking of landslide, I want to read a quote from an amazing, inspiring artist, Stevie Nicks.
Shut up.
I took my love, I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around.
Get off the stage!
And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child without my heart rise above?
Wrap it up!
Can I sail through the changes, ocean tide? Can I handle the seasons of my life? These are very powerful words. Powerful words that led us all in our daily lives.
I hate this!
With this award, my heart did in fact rise above. I am sailing through those changing tides. I can handle the seasons of my life. I also want to take a moment to thank Mr. and Mrs. Insert Name here for paying for such a beautiful wedding, sparing no expense to give their daughter the most memorable days of her life. They have taken a cat box and turned it into the London Symphony Orchestra. Let's give a big round of applause to insert Mrs. and Mrs. her name here. So on this day, insert date here, let us raise our glasses in honor of the wonderful couple, and let's toast that, insert name here, never comes to her senses and realizes she really, really, really settled. I also want to thank those guests that we have had on Couch Pilots to review these shows that I selected. I don't remember anyone that was on, but I am sure they did a sufficient job in their appearance on the show. I want to thank God. Without him, none of this would have been possible. And I can't forget to send a special thanks to the man, Filippo Farnsworth, for his invention that made this whole thing possible, the television. Kind of a clap there would be great. Thanks. And finally, there is one man that I cannot leave out. My confidant, my friend. I'm his best friend. And he is the man that really makes this plane fly on Couch Pilots. Thank you so much for everything you do, DSJ. Thank you, everyone. It's truly an honor, and I'm humbled by this experience. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
I think that's the last time we do something like that. If a season's worth of episodes is going to culminate in that masturbatory piece you just did right there,
That was great.
we need a little cleanser here.
It was not great? Did you not enjoy it? I read it to my wife read it, and then are we just skipping what up? Okay.
Yeah, I'm done with this. This is some bullshit. We'll come back to it.
Can't do it.
Hello.
Kevin, you're on the Couch Pies program. I love you. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just sitting down, not making brown.
Okay. Are you you making iced tea?
Just lemonade.
Just lemonade?
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, this is Blake.
Oh, hey, Blake, what's going on?
Hey, I just read my acceptance speech for winning the Pilots Challenge. What do you think?
Oh, awesome. Congratulations. You're
Thank
welcome for sharing something on Facebook to all my friends without
I thought you were going to keep that a secret.
Yeah, well, too bad. I just ruined. Secret ruined.
Yeah, that's how you won. I revel in it. Fucking revel in it. Jesus Christ. Listen, Kevin, a couple...
What's he talking about?
Nothing. Listen, Kevin, you were just in St. Louis, right?
Yes, I was.
And you went to one of my favorite places in the world. And I'm not joking. I love this place more than just about anywhere else ever. The City Museum.
Before we get there, I went to see the St. Louis Battlehawks of the XFL play. That was the big thing.
How was it?
It was a Christmas present. It was awesome. We stayed in the Holiday Inn that's like literally right next to the Dome at America Center. There hasn't been football in St. Louis in a number of years, so the crowd is great.
That was my question. The crowd was psyched. Was there a lot of attendance?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Really?
It was packed.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure it was sold out. Yeah, it was awesome. They sold out the bottom of the they don't sell the upper deck seats just because they wouldn't be able to sell out then, and there would be a lot of people just buying those because they're cheaper or whatever. But it was packed, and there were a bunch of people all like wearing like homemade like merch and stuff.
Really?
And it was super cool to see.
And the tickets were reasonably priced, weren't they?
Yeah, it was $30.
Yeah, that's
$30,
great.
and then I used my hotel points to stay at the hotel, so
it
was a pretty cheap weekend.
Did you have sex?
What's up?
Did you have sex?
No, we actually didn't. No, it was a very tiring day.
Did you have sex with yourself?
Multiple times, yes.
Okay.
At the stadium.
Well, that's incredible. That's the closest. We're in Central Illinois, and that's the closest XFL team is St. Louis, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
the only Midwestern team.
And last time the XFL was around was about 20 years ago, and they did one season. So who the hell knows how long it's going to go? That's awesome that you have to go to a game.
Mm-hmm. They're the best teams in the XFL, or the best fans in the XFL. So we're spoiled in the Midwest with that, and they're a really good team. So they've only lost one game. It's been 4 weeks, so they're 3-1.
Okay,
so,
not bad.
Yeah, they're really good. Got a really good quarterback, so it's really fun to watch. It's really not that much different than NFL rules, but it's pretty cool. Hold on, I'm getting a call real quick.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh, going well. How you doing?
I can't hear it all.
On the other line with your friend Jason.
Oh, Jason?
Yeah.
He's. Hey, did you know that I won the Pilots Challenge?
I heard that he lost the Pilots Challenge. Yeah. I mean, I figured that you won, being that he lost, but I just wanted to. Yeah, I heard that he lost.
What did you think of that speech? I mean, it was great, wasn't it?
It was very good. And I like how you kind of went into something else there, but it was very good. I appreciated hearing.
Thanks, man. Hey,
yeah.
So I'm glad you went to the football game. I'm glad you had a great time in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Kind of wondering why you didn't have sex.
Oh, you heard that? Oh,
yeah.
You're in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed too. Hold on, I'm getting another call here. This is
Oh,
Adam Z.
sorry.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, you hung up on me. I was just gonna ask. That's fine.
My bad.
That's fine. I was just gonna ask how the City Museum went.
Now, City Museum. Now, here's the thing. So we left the football game in the third quarter because I am a man who has diarrhea frequently.
Sure.
But
Cha-cha-cha.
not that frequently does it become debilitating. This day was one of those days.
Wow.
Where I was not able to enjoy myself.
Can't do it.
I did not have my anti-diarrheal medicine that I would have taken in the morning. I completely forgot to even bring any. And it was debilitating. So I was like just going to the bathroom like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. So we went back to the hotel, watched the rest of the game there. And then we're sitting there like, okay, let's figure out where we want to go to eat. Let's not eat too early because I bet you it's going to be packed. We're right downtown. So I'm like, okay, while we're sitting here, why don't I take a couple edibles, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got these.
Is it legal in Missouri?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm living on the edge here, very much like the guitarist of U2.
Sure.
So I take a few.
Adam Clayton, right?
Yeah, I took a one too many probably.
Okay.
So we go to dinner, and right as we like sit down and are getting our
Does your wife
order
know that
ready,
you
we're
took the edibles?
What's up?
Did your wife know that you took the edibles?
Yes.
And was she fine with it, or did you get a dirty look?
She was fine.
Okay.
I gave her one. It tastes good.
Oh.
If you just have one, it doesn't do anything. So I had 3. So that's where I went wrong. I should have just done 2. So we're eating at this sushi restaurant, and the whole time I'm just kind of like getting there. I'm not quite peaking yet, right? And then I'm texting a family friend of mine, a mom, like, hey, she's from St. Louis. Like, hey, where should we go to eat breakfast tomorrow? Blah, blah, blah.
Is that
She
the one
goes,
that kisses you on the lips?
No, it's
Okay.
not that one. It's a different one. That's funny that you bring that up. Yes. Yeah. That's Wendy. Wendy kisses me on the lips. This is Kristen. So Kristen's from St. Louis, and then we're just texting back and forth like after I'm done eating, and she goes, you guys should check out the City Museum. It's open late on the weekends. I looked it up. I'm like, okay, it's open till 11 on the weekends. I've heard things about this museum. It's got like a playground or something like for adults or something. I don't know. I wasn't sure. Jason, you had mentioned that you liked it a lot before. Now, this is not a museum. Let's be clear here. Right, Jason?
It's not a museum. No.
It's not a museum.
Is this the one with the slide that goes like down like 3 stories on like rollers? The slide is rollers, 5 stories.
There's a 10-story slide, and there is like a 2-story roller.
There's
slide.
like a stage, and then
there's an incredible amount of things there.
Yeah. So here's the thing: if you are under the influence of cannabis products and have never been there, and it is dark outside, first of all, impossible to find the entrance. We walked around the building for probably 20 to 25 minutes trying to figure out how to get in.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we finally figure it out. As we're about to go in, there are these 3 high school-aged girls, and they go, these little white girls, hey, we drove a long way to get here, and apparently you need to be 18 to get in.
Here we go. This is what I
something.
called for. Okay.
So me and Steph are like, I'm like not really understanding. I'm kind of high, and I'm like, she's like, do you think you could buy us one? And keep in mind, I've never been to this place. I don't understand how it works. Buy us one? I go, buy you one?
I'm just picturing Kevin High doing all this.
And Steph's just looking at me like, because she's expecting me to do the talking, of course. I'm like, I don't think I look old enough. And then I just turn around and walk away, and 2 of the 3 girls started cracking up because I think that they thought I meant like, I don't think I look 18, which clearly I do. They gave me the Mr. thing, but like, I don't think I look
Great
old
band.
enough to be their father, basically. Like, realistically, I definitely don't, but
Right.
Still, so I'm just like, sorry, I don't think I look old enough. And then we just went in, so we finally found the entrance. We go in there, and then first off, boom, a room full of mirrors, and I'm like, all right, I'm peaking. I'm tripping blades right now, okay?
Right.
But I didn't show it yet, and then I'm like, okay, we just keep walking, and then it's like just this giant maze, and we didn't know what to expect at all. Usually, if I was in the right mind, I would say to somebody at the door, like, hey, what the hell do we do here?
Like a map.
We've never
Where's the
been
map?
Here. What do we do? Yeah. Well, we didn't see a map at all the entire time. And we're just walking, and Steph's like, this isn't really a museum. And I was like, yeah, it's not. And there's a bunch of like middle schoolers just running around and farting around, whatever. And then I'm like, we get to like these dark places, and I'm freaking out. I'm just like, okay, what's the deal?
What's the deal with these rooms?
Yeah, and I'm like, let's just keep going up every stairs that we see, I guess, and then get lost, and then that's fun to find your way back out. I guess that's what it is or something.
Yeah.
So that's basically what we did, and we just kept going up, and then finally we got to like the part where it's like stairs, and it looks like at nighttime it's so fucking scary. It's just like this very dark place, and there's a bunch of people screaming. And so I'm like, all right, let's go down. And so we went down, and at the end, you like end up in this like cave, like this enchanted cave or whatever. I'm like, this is the worst fucking part, because both of us are like, I just want to get out of here. Steph's like, you're an idiot. She said, you're acting like an R word at one point, which was funny. And I said, yeah, sorry. And then we finally found our way out, and then finally got an Uber back to the hotel.
Now,
and at that point, it was like 9:45, and I just watched the rest of the AEW paper.
Where did you shit then?
Oh, what do you mean?
You shit at the hotel?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I was saying, I didn't know if you shit in the city museum.
No. Well, I did, but at that point, it had gotten better. I was like pretty much empty. Okay. I mean, we had just gone out to eat, but I was still like, that stuff didn't pass right through me. Sushi usually gives me pretty solid dumps. So like that was part of the decision making process of where we should eat too. So
was during this whole thing at the museum, was Stephanie high at all as well? Or, I mean, she did take one.
Nope.
It didn't do nothing.
No, she had 2 Michelob Ultras at the game.
And one edible. He said, which does nothing.
Yeah.
He says you got to have a couple to get it moving.
So you're wasting your money on the edibles because they're not strong enough.
She said he said it tastes good.
Oh no, I'm not.
You're not.
They're little tiny things, and it comes in a bag with like 30 of them. So
how much does that cost?
$20.
Really? Okay.
He brought. Is that the one you brought over to Karaoke Big E?
Correct.
All right. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I had 2 flavors.
I didn't see that.
These ones that I have now are watermelon.
You get your ass back on the horse and start being the engineer for that show.
Why didn't they just leave 2, like a little, like leaving cookies for Santa Claus?
Well, Blake, the problem there is Blake just doesn't like me. I think that's what it is.
I think Blake's got to lose about 20 pounds if he want to look like Santa Claus. So that's why he didn't leave him for you.
Wow.
Do you guys like my new goatee?
Yeah. The 2005 relief picture.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah.
Hey, the City Museum is one of my favorite places. It's got an unbelievable amount of cool shit. Have you ever went there
during the dark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go there for like 4 or 5 hours at a time.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's incredible.
I really want to go again during the day and in my right mind.
And there's a roof too, and there's
it's on fire.
The roof is on fire constantly. And there's a Ferris wheel up there, and there's a bunch of great shit. It's an awesome place.
It said like the roof is open like outside, so it was a nice day outside. So
well, let me ask you this.
I definitely want to go back. Yeah.
First of all, that's awesome you did that. I was excited to hear because I've never been there stoned, and so I was excited to hear what that sounded like. But also, aside from that, I want to say that you have got me obsessed with the song "Alone" by Heart.
You're welcome.
You did a power ballad on a recent episode of Karaoke Big E. If you're listening to the show here at Couch Pilots, go back, listen to episode 110. I believe it's called Dude, You're Getting Adele.
Correct.
Like the Adele, the singer. And
not the computer?
No, Adele.
Okay.
Well, she started. I think there's a mythology behind that they unload during the show. But anyway, Kevin belts out an unbelievable rendition of Heart's "Alone." And it has me in love with
Blake
Kevin.
Is never going to be sick of hearing about it.
Is he sick of hearing about it? Does he hate it?
I mentioned it to him one time when he came downstairs the last time we recorded, and he was like, "Yeah, I get it." He's saying it.
It was incredible. I loved it. I'm not doing that to egg on Blake at all. I didn't know he had that.
No, here's the thing: is I was like, that was really good. He's like, I wasn't really trying.
I loved it.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Kevin. I'm trying to give him a compliment, right? I'm like, hey, you did a great job, and he like just brushes that compliment off totally by going, I wasn't trying very hard.
He can't accept compliments
because he's so.
I'm very bad at that. It's depression.
No, he's just saying he's so awesome. He's like, oh, you're the greatest thing you've ever heard in your life. Oh, I wasn't even trying when I did it.
Kevin, I've been listening to the point where I know the backup singing parts, and I think we need to go to the basket case and sing that.
Oh, hell yeah, I would love nothing more than to do that.
All right, that'd be fantastic. Okay, we'll let you go. Thank you for answering the phone and
What's the
regaling
pilot
us.
today? Real quick.
The pilot is Mrs. Sundance.
Oh, okay.
It's an hour and a half long. Good luck.
I think you're doing one soon where I actually played a headless corpse in it, but you can get into that.
Oh, Shivers?
Get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, Shivers is next week. You played the headless corpse in that.
Yeah. So just let you know if you guys need any insight, just let me know.
I appreciate it very much.
Kevin, thanks a lot. I love your wife.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Love your wife too.
Goodbye.
See you.
Great guy.
Oh boy, that was wonderful.
You know what? First of all, kids, do edibles. That's what I got out of that. It was do
To
edibles.
me, the show's been going on for a while so far. I think that's what I've gotten out of it so far. How about you?
Yeah, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Today we discuss the pilot episode of Mrs. Sundance from the year of our Lord 1974. Great year.
Very good year. I was -1. Mm-hmm. Actually, to be honest with you, if you do the math, do 5, 8. Ooh, so my mom was probably like 15 to 20 days pregnant with me.
She had just been pumped.
She just been. My dad soiled her oats all over.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Soiled her oats.
He pumped the hell out of your
He
mom.
pumped the hell out of her.
He filled her up.
Yeah. At 17,
Topped her off.
at 17, at 16, he was begging the shit out of her at 16.
So your dad was 16?
No, my mom was 16.
And how old was your dad?
17.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So he was. They already had one kid, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Your mom already had a kid at 16?
Yeah, she was 15 when she
High
had.
five that shit. Damn. So your dad double pumped her at the ages of like 16 and 17.
Yeah.
That's got to be insane, right? Like having a kid.
If you saw his hair and mustache, you would be like, "Yeah, that's insane that somebody would have sex with him."
First, I was going to say, first of all,
my mom was super hot. I would say my mom was an 8 back then.
Really?
No,
I'd love to see some pictures
I've
of your
seen
mom.
pictures. She was an 8 for sure.
no doubt your dad was probably a piece of ass too. But so she's 15 when she has your brother.
Yeah, that's why he's so fucked up.
And then there's a second kid right after that.
Right, and then
God.
right after that kid is born, about 6 to 8 months to a year later, they like, we can't stand each other.
Yeah. Did she get her insides all tore up so she can't have any more kids?
I don't think that's what it was.
Oh, you have to finish outside?
What?
You have to pull out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, that's weird.
You have
Outside,
you have to go outside and ejaculate on the yard?
There's one patch of grass that's growing real well here.
It's true green. That's how I think of 1974 anyway.
This would be a good time to call my mom, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, we shouldn't. But that's not the only way I think about 1974. There are other things that happened.
How old were you? I was -1.
-7.
Oh, so your
Yeah.
mom and dad didn't even know each other.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Let's think about things that happened back in 1974, other than your dad filling up your mom with his semination. Let's go back to 1974 in our minds. And to do so, we'll talk about a few things that happened that year. And we do this part of the show so we can properly get in the mindset of the pilot that we're discussing today.
We're in 2020.
Right.
Okay, it's Bernie year, right?
Oh, I'm burning, baby.
I'm burning for Bernie.
I'm burning for you.
I'm burning for you. Anyway, in 1974, there's a lot of things we didn't have back then, so you can't be like, oh, I'm going to judge this pilot based on 2020. In 1974, we did not have go-karts. That was the first thing. We didn't have go-karts.
Yeah.
How are you gonna rate this pilot with the thought of what go-karts are?
I know for a fact that year we had an idea of what go-karts were and what they could be, but no one was able to execute that idea yet, though.
We also didn't have scooter cage ball in schools.
So much so I don't even know what that is to this day.
You don't know what it is?
Did you say scooter cage ball?
Yeah, you probably called it something else. Actually, you're young enough. It probably
baseball.
It was banned. No, it was probably banned by the time.
Banned?
But banned.
I played the
it's banned.
cornet.
Jim Cornette?
Yeah, I played the Jim Cornette when I was in 4th grade.
Scooter cage ball was there was a plastic red plate with rollers. Okay. And you had to have one knee on it at all time, and you could scoot across, and there was a giant ball, like a giant, like like the dodgeballs,
I love this so far.
right? But think of it as like
a yoga ball,
no, like bigger than that. It was huge,
size of a Buick.
size of a Buick,
Okay.
and then you played kind of like soccer hockey with it. It was called scooter cage ball. Many people broke fingers.
Soccer hockey, so it was on ice.
Well, it was on the gym floor, but the style was soccer and ice.
Soccer and ice.
Soccer.
Stockard, Channing, and ice. Ooh, baby, that's a combo.
Anyway, we didn't have that.
Yeah, that wasn't around then. You want to know what they did have?
What?
March 8th, the final episode.
I'm not done, though.
Oh, what else you got?
We didn't have Band-Aids.
Okay.
Well, I'm just putting it out there. Because people are going to listen to this and be like, it's 2020. I'm all about Bernie.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, I'm going to judge this pilot. And I'm like, oh, this pilot's shit. You go back there.
Think about Band-Aids, asshole.
Go back there.
In your mind. Mine's eye. March 8th, something that happened that year, the final episode of the American television series The Brady Bunch airs.
The Brady
Bunch.
The Brady Bunch.
Awesome!
Good Lord, that's loud.
Christ.
I don't like the Brady Bunch. It's like the Brady Bunch fucking sucks, right?
The acting was bad, but nostalgic wise, I can't say that it sucks. They
were style icons. I tell you that right now.
And when I watch it now, compared to like when I was younger, like I know that a bunch of them had sex together, so it makes it more interesting.
That's how I like to watch
and
it.
The architect guy was gay.
Yeah, the dad.
Never would have thought that by how smooth he was.
Did you? Who is the most attractive of the Brady Bunch?
Now or when I was younger?
Both.
When I was younger, Cindy.
Okay.
And
the tiny little pigtail girl?
Yeah, when I was little, yeah.
All right.
And when I got older, obviously, for legal reasons, it was Marsha.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Greg for me.
Oh.
March 11th, Rhino Store gives people 5 cents a piece to take home Danny Bonaducci's album. You hear that guy?
I know who Danny Bonaducci is.
Who is
from,
he?
The Patriots family.
Yeah, the Patriots family. He was
the drummer, the redhead.
He was a little boy, right? And
just a little boy.
I feel like anytime there's like a young star of like television or something, like, hey, you know what you should do? You should make an album.
Yeah.
And they're like, why would I ever do that? I'm an actor. It's like, because people would buy
Well,
the
they did
album.
that because the other guy from the Partridge Family was very successful in his music.
Yeah, what was that guy's name?
Ricky Marks.
Rick Marks. That's right. Yeah, he was. I love. But Rick Marks had some good albums though.
Oh, for sure.
But Danny Bonaducci, apparently the sales were non-existent to where they're giving people a buffalo nickel a piece to take it home with them.
That's great. Kind of like this podcast. Like people,
I would pay people 5 cents to listen to this
for sure. I would too. Except 34 people, because 34 people made me win.
I don't want to hear that. Those numbers are small.
We didn't
and
talk
sad.
about it. Like, what did you think? Like, how would you rate? How would you rate my speech?
It was,
From
a, great,
1 to
it was
7?
a great speech.
Thank you.
I like how it says final draft across the top. Say that's putting it out there that there were multiple drafts of it. And why'd you use a Sharpie? Anyway, I don't know. It was a great speech. You did a great job.
Because it was so good at the end, I was like, oh, this is the final draft. So
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You won almost fair and square. I completely succeed. You are the captain of choice.
Thank you.
I tip my cap and hat to you.
Muchos gracias.
And also with you. March 21st, attempt made to kidnap Princess Anne in London's Pall Mall, which is not a giant pack of cigarettes.
Ironically, I smoke Pall Malls. Which princess is this?
Princess Anne.
Who's the mom and dad of that one?
I don't know. Probably some like incestuous blue blood shit.
Was that before Diana?
1974, I would say so. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think Diana was
There was
early 80s.
somebody tried to kidnap her.
Yeah. Have you
Unsuccessful?
without success, correct.
Who was it? I mean, like, how did they do it?
I have one sentence here of notes.
Really? You're gonna bring this to the table. And
I can look into it.
No, it's fine.
I'm
busy.
What do you want to do with? Has anyone ever tried to kidnap you?
No, people have done bad stuff to me, but always give me back.
What would you do if someone tried to kidnap? Like if someone's like,
I would love it.
You would love it, like,
right now, or when I was a kid. Like kidnap me at 12, or kidnap me at like 45.
Your current age, yeah.
I would be fine with it.
Calgon, take me away.
Yeah, for sure.
Where would you want them to take you? Would you want to be put into sex slavery?
Yeah, that's probably the best place for me. I mean, I'm not very good at cooking. I refuse to do my own laundry.
A lot of times people who are kidnapped are forced to do laundry and cooking, but you say you would like to do the sex.
Well, of course, that's the only thing I'm good at.
Yeah. No, you're a
Hashtag
great
100 plus.
You're a grade A fucker. We all know that. I don't know about you, but I'm safely and securely back in 1900 ad 74.
I am. I loved it. It was great.
Why did we choose to watch Mrs. Sundance?
There's 3 simple criteria that we use on this show. 1, it was a pilot that never went to series. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. And number 2, we had to find it on the internet. And number 3, it had to be free, baby.
Yes, that's exactly
you say free?
Right. I say free, too. You can find the entire episode of Mrs. Sundance by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Blake?
You know what to do, Tube.
I like that.
You did it better that time.
I've been doing a lot of cardio vascular. What's that?
I can tell.
My lungs are bigger.
Yeah, you can see.
I got big lungs.
Oh, and that sweater, you can still see them.
You can still see my lungs? It's a nice sweater. Summary of the pilot. The girlfriend of the Sundance Kid is on the run with a price on her head when she hears rumors that the Sundance Kid may still be alive.
A+.
Wow, okay.
No, that's exactly what you need to know.
Yeah, that's pretty much, a great summary of the program, and I agree, that's an A+ summary.
That's more information than I knew when I pushed play.
Well, what do you know about the Sundance Kid? If someone said that to you, what pops in your head?
I think of Old West.
Right.
I think of robbing trains.
Yes.
I think of Butch.
Yes.
And Sundance. And
David Cassidy. He was the Partridge guy.
Yeah.
So Butch and David Cassidy and the
Right.
Sundance Kid.
No, and I know they robbed banks for the poor. Mm-hmm. And it was a
They
Western.
wore tights, right? Did they wear tights?
I
had
think
bow
one
and arrows?
one was a fox, I do believe.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah, so that's basically all I knew.
I'm not going to waste my mouth asking you if you've seen the film, the cinema called Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
With Paul Newman, Robert Redford?
Yeah.
No.
You're getting pretty uppity there for someone who hasn't seen it still.
I'm uppity because I knew 2 people that were in the film.
That is pretty good.
That's an iconic film.
I think that it is. I've never seen it. A lot of those old westerns. I was listening to something
Oh,
today.
you've never
about,
seen it, have you?
I never claimed to. I'm not riding my high horse pun.
What's your claim to fame?
My claim to fame is I can do this with my hands. And if you give me some lotion, goddamn it, I'll go all night long.
I bet.
But there's like the good, the bad, the ugly. A fistful of dollars, a few dollars more. There's a lot of old school westerns, John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, otherwise that I have not seen. I don't really have a lot of interest in it, honestly.
I was bartending at the Moose
As you do.
one Saturday night, and there wasn't too many people there. And one of the guys is like, "Hey, turn it on this channel," and it was like the Old West channel, and it was on closed captions. And he's like, "Oh, you ever seen this movie? This is what happens," and this, and he was like going like scene for scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No." He goes, "What do you mean you never seen
Some
it?"
of these old timers love that shit. They revel in it. Because
Yeah.
You know why? Because they were little kids when they came out, and that's
Right.
seared in their brain.
When they came out as gay,
What?
when they were little, they came out as gay, and they were watching these westerns, and that's why it's monumental, and that's why they remember it.
Interesting facts, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. This is the part of the show where Jason scours the internet to find facts about this pilot that you may not know. He does a hard job. He does it well. So, one thing I want you to do is not tell anybody your opinions of these facts. These are facts. He's found them. There's nothing we can do about it. Give him these facts, let him have these facts, and don't taint someone else's experience by sharing your thoughts on these facts. Thank you. I do know what hard times are.
Okay. Interesting facts. Oops.
That was kind of cool.
Release date January 15th, 1974.
January 15th?
Correct.
Okay.
You seem confused by that.
No.
Fact.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fact, you seem confused. Taglines. We don't always get a tagline for a pilot, but here's one. After Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed dead in a hail of lead, she was left still alive with a price on her $10,000 on her hide.
Okay, maybe you should read that again to where it makes sense. They died in Bolivia, by the way.
After Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed dead in a hail of lead, she was left alive with a price of $10,000 on her hide.
Much better.
Okay, I had to find my circadian rhythm.
Did you know that they were killed in Bolivia? That's an interesting fact.
I didn't know that, but that was I found that out from the show, but I didn't know that before. Claudette Nevins, who starred as Mrs. Lee, just died on February 20th of this year, just about a week and not even a week and a half ago.
Is that the lady that was talking about the council?
At the very beginning?
Yeah.
I believe that was the old lady in the beginning.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay,
She,
all right.
she just died.
Wow.
Fact.
We've had some people die like after we've like done these shows.
We've had some people die, all right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's that known as the couch pilot's curse.
But for somebody to die pre-release,
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I would never want to die
just by like a
pre-release.
month, just like a month and a half.
But the thing is, like, you think, oh my God, we could have talked to her. We probably wouldn't talk to her. A lot of these old people, a lot of these people in this are either dead or so old that
Or alive.
they're either dead or alive. It's one of the two. Stars Elizabeth Montgomery as Etta Pace. Elizabeth is best known as
Somebody from Bewitched.
Samantha. She was a beautiful
She
woman.
was a smoke show,
Right?
She
was
had
a
the
very
cutest
beautiful
little
woman.
nose. It was that nose. No, but her nose was amazing.
She was a beautiful woman. Honestly, the only thing I have ever known her from was Bewitched. That's it.
Wow, yeah,
Fact.
yeah.
Co-stars Elizabeth Montgomery and Robert Foxworth began a relationship around the time that this movie was filmed, living together for almost 20 years.
Is that Jack Maddox?
Yes, before marrying in 1993.
That is amazing. This show brought them together and they made love.
That's absolutely right.
God, that's great.
She died like 2 years later after that. She died in 1995.
Oh, after they were together for 20 years, then they got married.
She got married. They died about 2 years or so after they got
Do you
married.
think she knew she was dying?
I don't know. Probably.
So he was fucking her for like 18 years before he had to pay for anything?
20, man. God. High five that shit.
High five Jack Maddox.
Maddox for life. When Etta Place and Jack Maddox reach the abandoned schoolhouse where Etta taught, she sees an old bicycle leaning against the
Bicycle. I love to ride my bicycle.
Is that it?
Yeah, you kind of screwed up the melody part of it.
Oh, I thought there was. I screwed it up.
Listen,
Anyway,
let's do it again.
okay.
I love to ride my bicycle. Interesting fact.
She sees an old bicycle leaning against the railing. If you listen to the music here, you can hear "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head" playing slowly. It was the theme song to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and played extensively throughout the scene where Etta and Butch ride this very bike. Fact. So much fact. End of interesting facts.
So you're saying that in the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Etta and Butch ride this specific bike?
No, the Sundance Kid.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We got Butch Cassidy over here.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And you got Sundance Kid over here. So,
But in the movie, Etta and Sundance rode this specific bike?
yes, that's correct.
That's interesting.
Yep, and you can say so because interesting facts is
Damn
over.
right, I know
Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I wonder if Jason got some Twitter responses.
As previously hinted, these people are all dead, so I definitely don't have any Twitter responses, but I do have 105 minutes on the clock to talk about this film.
We're not putting 105 minutes on the clock.
Well, let's go ahead and start. On a train, you got some fellers making bullets, and then they're using it like a sepia. Is that what it's called? The sepia filter, where everything looks old-timey and orange?
Right, like orange and brown kind of look.
This
yeah.
must be their attempt at saying, here's a flashback or something?
I think this is like to make you pay attention. Like they're like, okay, your eyes need to pay attention.
I don't understand this part because the train stops. Some lawman or a bounty hunter or something has Etta Pace, which is Elizabeth Montgomery, and he's ready to hand her over to some other dude, but that dude declines and says, "Let her go." Right?
Yeah, because that's not really her.
Oh, it wasn't her.
No,
I don't know. That's why the beginning was confusing to me.
The posse guy, the head posse guy,
Siringo or something.
yes, he goes there. He goes in and he's like, and this other lawman's like, here's the person you want. And she's got her head down like a prostitute.
Yeah.
And he lifts it up and it's not her.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not the one I want.
I didn't
Here's
know
$50
that.
for your trouble. Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay, so that does clear up a lot for me right from the start.
There's a $10,000 reward
For Etta Pace, who's also known as Mrs. Sundance,
Sun-
and she is the girlfriend of the Sundance Kid.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No. It turns color, and we see a woman looking out the window, and we find out she's a teacher. This is Mrs. Sundance, but everybody knows her as
Mrs. Johnson. And it's
sorry,
funny.
Miss Johnson. Your husband's dead.
I didn't like. I looked at this woman and I thought, okay, this is Elizabeth Montgomery. I'm pretty sure this is her. She's an attractive lady. I recognize her from Bewitched. When they called her Miss Johnson, I didn't know what was going on yet.
Oh, no, I didn't. Well, no, I take that back. I knew what was going on because I saw the wanted poster and I was like, oh, okay, that looks a lot like the person. So she's incognito.
Yeah, she's in hiding. She's a teacher in a small town. She's got some kid in her classroom. He takes off, and then Mrs. Lee arrives.
Who's dead right now, R.I.P.
She just died, and she's like, I don't know, she's in charge of the school or works for the city or what, but she basically comes in and says, hey, you can work here for another year. She says, but you act odd.
Right, when the train comes, when it's nighttime, you act weird.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with you, but the council says you can teach for another year, and she's like, why are you acting weird? And
she does not give it up.
No, she's like, I'm just here to teach.
Yeah, I'm just here to teach. So basically, in this small town, a Western show comes to town. Everyone in town is excited.
They're running to this. Like there are actually people running to this tent. It's like the old like an old
Barnum right? Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah, Barnum and Bailey is what I was going to say. But people are running to this to see it. You know,
what's it like?
It's like an old tent, like you'd see like on Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Yeah. I love Barnum and Bailey.
Barley's and Bailey's.
The signs of the tent mention Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah, so it's like a play about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah.
She goes in there. She's watching it. It's really cheesy and fake.
It like reenacts them like train robbing and stuff. And there's even a lady playing Etta Pace while Etta's in the crowd watching.
Yeah, it's meta.
Yeah, very meta.
Meta Etta.
It's hashtag meta Etta. Anyway, Etta sees lawmen or just like familiar to her or otherwise suspicious people kind of looking out over the crowd, and she gets nervous
and she disappears.
Yeah, so she gets out of there that night. Etta dresses up in a disguise and heads toward that very same train we saw earlier. Waits.
She dresses up kind of like manly.
Yeah, like a fella.
Yeah.
She's waiting for a little bit. Then she jumps on the train. She must think that there is like too much heat in town now.
Sure. When we talk about heat, we talk about the posse.
Hell yeah.
And so she's on the train, and then this guy jumps on, and we come to find out that is Jack Maddox, and he's like, "Come here, boy." You know, he sees her in like the shadows.
Yeah.
He's like, "You hungry, boy? Come here, boy." And then her tits fall out. He sees her glistening tits.
There's a lot of cleavage here.
There's a lot of glistening tits, and
I
he's
was like,
"Oh,
yeah." I was like, she's gonna have to fight this hobo off. That's what I thought. Like, this hobo is going to try to accost her sexually, and she's going to have to fight him off.
What I was thinking, it was like, oh, okay, he's going to ask her to marry him, and then she's going to do everything. He's going to do everything she says for the rest of his life.
A hobo marriage? He's like,
hobo marriage.
Before he knows anything about this girl, he's like, hey, I used to work for Butch Cassidy and Sundance.
Yeah, he's trying to impress her. Yeah, right.
And then he realizes it's a woman, and he comes on to her, and she shows him her gun. She's like, okay, you know what? We're both in this train. We're both of us should not be here.
Guns.
I got tits and guns. Don't fudge with me.
Right.
The next morning, a posse is coming to look for Jack. Apparently, he stole some bread or something. So the two of them hightail it the hell out of the train and head into some tall grass.
Yeah, swampland. They're in the swampy lands. Some horses go around in the water. They can't. The posse can't find them.
Jack notices one of the guys. He's like,
"Oh,
that is a well-known bounty hunter."
Yeah, bounty hunter.
And Jack's
R.I.P. to bounty hunter's wife.
Jack doesn't. Who's that?
The bounty hunter.
Yeah,
his wife's
dog?
dead.
Yeah. So
she suffocated from her own breath.
I don't know if that's right. So Jack's like, these guys are looking for me, but what he doesn't know is that they're really looking for her.
Sure.
Right? So
Right.
so then they steal a horse and they camp out later that night.
Yeah, there's a lot of camping out.
Yeah.
And every time they go to camp out, Jack is responsible for getting supplies. No, he's not. He's offering to go get supplies. What he's doing is he is going and talking to the posse.
Okay, we're going to reveal that disorder.
But we don't have much time.
So while Etta sleeps, when the camping Jack takes her bag and he looks through it and he discovers her true identity, and then she like starts to kick the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, she beats the crap out of him.
And then
for
Jack
sure.
like takes his horse and heads out, and he shows up next. She's like, so he takes off, and you're like,
he got
okay.
his ass beat. He left.
Yeah, I was thinking he's gone. That's it for him in the movie. But he comes back the next day with the birds for them to eat.
Right, and it's because he's in cahoots with the posse.
And then Ed is like, he's like, I've looked through your bag. I know who you are. And so then Etta starts to talk to Jack about her memories.
Yeah, she
of this
spends a lot of time
Sundance
like
Kid.
reminiscing about the Sundance, and he's like, "Oh, well, she's like, they're all dead, but they're all dead. I don't know what to do. And I'm just running for my life." And he's like, "Oh, well, Fanny Porter," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know." He's like, "She said that Sundance is still alive."
They go up to this whorehouse that she runs.
The best little whorehouse in Montana, Wyoming.
And she's like, yeah, Sundance
Pueblo.
is alive.
It was in Pueblo, Colorado.
Yeah.
8109.
So now Etta wants to make her way to Sundance. It's like 150 miles away. And Jack agrees to help her get what she needs for the trip. And this
Goes
is where
to get supplies again.
This is where we find out that he's working for these people because they give him the money and the stuff that he needs to get her. Because basically what they want to do is like, during her time with the Sundance Kid, they robbed a lot of places. They stashed money. Let's follow her because, of course, she's going to go to the money, try to get that.
Sure.
And if we follow her there, we'll get the money and we'll get her for the bounty.
Right. And so he's in this train car talking to the posse, and there's a guy behind him with his shirt off.
Yeah, I don't know why he's got his shirt off the whole time.
Did you write that down at all?
It's seared into my memory. I didn't write it down, but it's in my head.
It's very odd. Like all the other posse guys that are interviewing him are in suits.
I think there was probably some hot shit happening before Jack stepped in the room.
It was weird, and I'm going to bring it up later.
All right, good. So he's like, if he's working for the bounty hunters,
The bounty hunter.
I'm thinking, why did he go through her bag? Why? Because why did he need to know who she was?
I think he was going through her bag to try to find stuff to steal or find clues of where she was wanting to go.
Okay,
That one for sure. The first one, not so much.
but he should know who she is already.
No, he does.
Okay.
He knows who she is, but he's trying to find clues. Blues clues.
I see. Jack and Etta. I'm surprised that wasn't on your top 5 for the last season.
That would have been great.
I don't know about that. Jack
Magenta's
and Etta.
coming over. Magenta's coming over.
Please stop. Jack and Etta head towards Casper the next morning at camp, and Etta makes Jack take a bath so she can pound off.
No. Well,
She does it basically to
she
say...
knows something's up.
Yeah, she's like, why would you, someone I just met, come with me all the way up here? She has him naked in the water, gun in her hand. She's basically got him at her whim. She can do whatever she wants and get answers from him. But he has to answer questions, but he comes...
And he's only washing his hair. That's the only thing he washes.
I get under those arms pretty good.
yeah,
Right between the legs.
yeah, for sure.
But he comes up with some bullshit that she kind of buys, right?
Yeah, I guess she does. Like this is the first point where you're like, she knows what's up, and then she buys this bullshit, and then she kind of backs off.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah, we already know right now
We know what's
because of
up.
the half-naked man.
So then they come across a place out in the big wide open. I don't know where they're just running around the plains.
Yeah.
And they come across this house that belongs to her friend Ben, and he's super surprised to see her. They all have dinner, and he really loves this woman so much that his wife is crazy jealous.
Oh,
right?
yeah, she's crazy jealous because she knows who he is.
Yeah.
Or she knows who she is, and we don't find this out until later on, but they're poor, right? They're on the homestead, they're poor, and there's a $10,000 bounty on.
That's like set for life back then.
and so the wife's like, why don't you turn this bitch in? First of all, why are you flirting with her? Second of all, why am I making her dinner? And third of all, why are you, what's the deal?
She's pissed. So they all have dinner.
Typical woman.
And she's like, Ben's like, she's like to Ben, how do we get to the hole in the wall? And he's like, well, I don't know. And everyone involved who knows is dead except for one dude. So they go off to get him. They bring him back to the place. And in that time, the wife's sent her son off to go get the military or the local...
The posse.
The fuzz.
Yeah, and so The only guy left that might know is Walt.
He is super out of it.
He is super old and senile, and he's also super drunk. And I love Walt.
You're a Walt boy?
I love it. I think he did a great job.
So the fuzz is coming down the road, and
the kid's name is Garth.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Ben's like, oh my God, they're coming. So he says, hey, Jack and Etta, get out of here. And then he goes up and runs to them and says, hey, go this way. They just went that way. He points them in the wrong direction.
Opposite way.
And they take Ben, and that's the last we see of Ben.
Yeah, and right before he leaves, he looks at his wife. He's like, yeah, I'll go with you guys and answer your questions because hiding and abetting is, punishable by hanging.
Yeah, he's like, I want to help you guys out. And he's blowing smoke.
He's obviously blowing smoke, and he's also like giving a big fuck you to his wife. Like,
yeah,
hey, you little cunt.
Well, Jack and Etta ride on. They come across her old home where she lived with Sundance. It's abandoned now, and then they set up shop for the night there. She sees some of her old poems that she wrote, and she reads them to Jack. And then Jack tries to convince Etta not to go to the hole in the wall.
Right.
Jack is he's not like part of the posse. He's kind of a low-level criminal scumbag.
He was in prison. They took him out of prison and said, hey, we'll take you out of prison. You do this for us. Mm-hmm. He does it, but then, of course, he falls in love because she's a fucking bombshell.
And he's got a conscience, man.
He's got a cockscious.
I don't know if that's how you say it.
Well, but obviously, like, what's thinking? Is his brain thinking or is his penis thinking?
Probably a little from A, a little from B.
Yeah.
Etta knows something is up with Jack, but she's still not letting on.
She's cool, calm, and collective this whole time.
She's got to be to hang out with Sundance and Butch Cassidy.
First off, he's naked and shampooing himself.
Hell yeah.
And she busts him out, and she kind of lays back. And then this is another speech where she's like, something's going on, but she still lays back.
He then updates the bounty hunters again. There's
a
couple
bounty hunters.
And then the next day, they head into the canyon, and they come across more abandoned buildings. They find all the old crew buried up there.
Yeah, they find the hole in the wall, which is supposedly you couldn't find it.
And so they get up there to find it, and Etta realizes for sure that not only is everyone dead, but that definitely includes Sundance. Like, whatever she's been fed is a line of bullshit. And
Butch and he died in Bolivia.
Yeah. Jack regrets what he's done here, and he's like, hey, the bounty hunters are going to be here in an hour. It's about 35 minutes till that happens now. We have to do something. They're going to come and get us. And so the bounty hunters arrive.
And she's still being cool with them.
All she has is this little, I think, call it a Dillinger. It's probably got 2 shots on it. That's
right, but she's not portrayed at all. Like, she doesn't feel portrayed at all.
It is a testament to her being so stoic and cool, calm, and collected. But at the same time, she doesn't have time to be upset. She's got to figure out how she's going to survive this event. And the bounty hunters arrive. They see all the graves there. And then they come up and they start walking around. They're hiding. Jack's hiding behind a wall. Ed is inside a building. He says, if anyone comes through that door, you shoot them no matter what. Right. Doesn't matter who it is. And so Jack's hiding with his like little repeater rifle, and he kills one of the bounty hunters. And the others, once that happens, they start to like take their position and start to kind of flank.
And all these bounty hunters have suits on, like they're in the West.
They look great.
It's hot in the desert, and they have their suits on. They're rolling around in the gravel with suits on.
Hey, they're dressed to kill.
Ooh, good answer.
Jack kills another one through a wall when he busts through a cabin, and then he kills a third. Mm-hmm. Jack kills 3 of these dudes, and all you have left now is Siringo, the guy who's the leader.
And then Siringo shoots Jack in the shoulder.
Right through the window. Yeah, he shoots him through a window. He sees Jack had just killed his third man, and Siringo's there, blasts him.
And then Jack shoots Siringo.
Yep.
As well. So, they're both having troubles.
So Siringo pins down Etta, and Jack shoots him in the back so Etta can escape. And now they've got Siringo kind of like pinned down in this cabin. And then Jack is not doing so hot. He got shot pretty good.
Right.
And he's kind of chatting it up with Etta for what appears to be, and it might be, we don't know, one last time.
Yeah. To me, this is the deathbed speech.
I would think so.
Yeah. He's like, I'm pouring my heart out to you because I'm about to die. I have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry I did this to you. I kind of am in love with you, and I hope you get out of here alive.
She says thank you, basically, for everything you've done for me.
She said mucho gracias.
That's right. She kisses him right on the mouth.
Ooh.
And then Jack covers Etta while she makes her way to a horse, and she escaped. And we're following Etta at this point.
Yeah.
Out in the sunset, and behind us we hear a bunch of gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Yeah.
Turbulence.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
A Zone of Turbulence. That's the name of the game, folks. What about Mrs. Sundance didn't work? What was the problem here?
Well, there's a couple problems. I think the first thing we're going to talk about is this is expensive. Okay, there's a lot of locations. There's a lot of finding old Western stuff to use. This is expensive to do, and it's an hour and a half long. Is the regular episodes going to be half hour? No, they're going to be an hour.
They're going to be a 45-minute show for sure.
And that's expensive.
Yeah, it will be.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
Is wrong.
What else you got? I agree. I think that's a great point.
You go ahead and go.
Hey, at a pace, more like a slow pace. Am I right? Some of this did not move very quickly. There's a lot of scenes that you could have cut 10 or 15 minutes off of the show, just basically them galloping and gallivanting across the countryside.
Right, but it's a Western, and every Western, and I thought about that too. But like when I watched it, like it didn't seem like an hour and a half when I watched it. And I think maybe my mindset was like, okay, Westerns have a lot of scenes where people are just riding a fucking horse around a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
It was very heavy on like orchestra music.
Yeah.
Which kind of was a turnoff because they had to fill time with no dialogue.
Right.
You know. But I understand what you're saying about like how I dragged along, but if you go into the mindset of this is a Western, then it doesn't bother you.
Okay, well, what else you got then? Why didn't it work? You said you had something else, right?
It didn't work because that guy had no shirt on, and it freaked me the fuck out.
Okay, the creep factor.
And I think he put his hands, like he was standing behind Jack when they were talking to him.
Yeah.
And I think he put his hands on Jack's shoulder, both shoulders. And for a half-naked guy to do that in the Old West just meant Jack's gonna get fucked.
It's super gay. Yeah, it was a super gay moment of the film.
Were you unsettled by it?
I wasn't unsettled, but
it was odd.
But I took note. Absolutely, I took note. I was like, why is that guy glistening, bare chested? Okay, how about this? It didn't work because when I see a Western, my God, I want to see some shoot 'em ups. There was very little shoot 'em ups in this.
Right, there really only was
that final scene.
The final scene for shoot 'em up.
And don't get me wrong, good final scene. But still, I want to see a little hot action in between.
Sure,
you know?
I got you.
Maybe there's a point where the posse catches up with them.
I think they catch up with her on Broadway. The posse kesses her up on Broadway.
They do kess her up then? Have you ever made the Kessel Run?
No, I want to try though.
What would you do to improve this?
I guess you're right. I mean, I didn't think about this before, but more shoot 'em ups. I think they're trying to like shoot their wad on the shoot 'em ups,
right?
You know what I mean? Because they're going to go into a series. I don't know, to improve it. Maybe less music or more appropriate music, more like twangy Western cowboy music as opposed to like orchestra music. That a lot of times
the score
it turned me off because a lot of times I was like, oh, this is very like, you know, orchestra stuff that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'd like to see a little bit more action. I think 45 minutes is a more appropriate time. We know a lot of these 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s, these failed pilots start off as an hour and a half movie, which is exactly what this is. But
it was like 15 or 20 minutes before we understood that she was Mrs. Sundance. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
Yeah.
If this survived, I think this is just her traveling around, staying away from the police, trying to find a life.
Seeing a bunch of people that she knew through Sundance.
I would love it if there was a lot of surprises. I want to see Ben again. I want to see him pop back up. Maybe the Sundance Kid really is alive. I want to see some of the people from the original film pop up and say, "You thought I was dead? I'm not dead at all." Yeah. That is Jack really dead? Did he die at the end? Did he get away? We don't know.
We don't know.
All I ever say in TV shows, your favorite character, he's not dead until you 100% see him die.
Sure.
Because a lot of times there'll be like little spoilers or like little like, oh, I think he's dead. He died off screen, but then next season he pops back.
Right, like in Magic Men, everybody thought that the main character was dead in Magic Men, but he wasn't.
And Magic Men is that Channing Tatum strip film, right? Great film, great American film.
Check number 2.
Double XL?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent,
they got the name right, I tell you that much.
Because his dick was big?
There's some huge cocks in that film. I love
What does the cock say?
Cox's Final Descent. This is where we say other people have seen this. Other people have commented on it. We look at IMDb, and you've done this. You've cheated. Tell me what the score from IMDb is. Don't act like you don't know.
I would say like a 6.5.
No, 6.2.
Oh, damn it!
That's from 240 different ratings. Critic reviews. Clayton's Ahib.weebly.com says, if you watch it, don't expect to compare it with the famous one. It's its own thing and quite a fun thing when viewed with an eye receptive to fun. It has only a wobbly connection to the actual events or the people involved, but I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Okay. That's positive.
Viewer reviews. Hannah gives it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Says, Liz's post-Bewitched career was wild, and I love every minute of it.
This was after Bewitched?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lance Sheeby gives it 3 out of 5 stars. Says, this was a lot of fun. Great story following a captivating relationship. Solid performances all around, particularly Montgomery and Foxworth. Michael May gives it 2 out of 5 stars. I'll watch anything with Elizabeth Montgomery in it, but this was disappointing. She's not even really the main character, so she spends the whole movie reminiscing about the Sundance Kid and affecting the film's actual main character, played by a guy from Falcon Crest.
Who was the main character? Jack?
I think he's Michael May is surmising that Jack Maddox, Robert Forrest himself was or Foxworth is the main character.
That guy's a fucking idiot.
He might be a fucking idiot. Last one here, 1 out of 5 stars. Paxton Holly says, again, a TV movie that's somewhat a sequel to the 1969 Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Cheaply made and not very interesting. Elizabeth Montgomery is fun to watch anyway in a role that isn't Samantha.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain
We almost hit
seated with
69
your
degrees the other day.
seatbelts until the captain
Oh my God, that's so
turns
good.
off
So
the
close.
seatbelt
We're so
sign.
close. Spring is almost here.
Can you taste it?
I keep my tongue out of my mouth just so I can try to taste it. I haven't tasted it yet. Now we rate this. Now we say, what do we think about this? We've heard what other people think about it. We've heard some interesting facts. We put you in the mindset of the film, but now it's time for us to put our final stamp on it. Would you like to talk about the grading scale?
Sure, the grading scale is 1 through 7, 1 being the worst. That's a Roy Biggins. And Roy Biggins, these are all characters from Wings.
Yeah, the television show Wings.
Yeah, it's the basis of our existence, really.
Yeah, our lives. Yeah, our lives.
It was supposed to be Golden Girls, but it ended up being
Fuck
Wings.
that.
Number 7 being the best, that's a Brian Hackett, and that's the best you can do.
Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you. How do you rate Mrs. Sundance?
I thought a lot about this. I think Elizabeth Montgomery has an adorable nose, beautiful eyes, and I saw some of her breastises.
Right.
And not big, but still glistening. I'm not a big Western guy, but I was involved in this. I stayed with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it I'm so torn. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay, that's a Joe Hackett. That's a good character. 4, mediocre score. Fine, right down the middle.
Yeah. I wanted to go a 5. I really did want to do a 5. If I could go back in time.
Right.
In
Your mind. In time.
I would give it a 5.
You could do it. Who gives a shit?
All right, booby bump. I'll give it a 5.
A booby bump. A bare breasticle bump. Okay. This is tough. I think the performances were good. It was a little slow at times. Not enough shoot 'em ups. I think that there has to be another element put into play in this film, because I'm left wondering how exciting is this going to be watching her escape from the clutches of local bounty men. Maybe she joins the bounty men at one point. Maybe she has to commit crimes, or maybe she does go to jail. You know, there's a lot of places it could go, but like, how interesting is that going to be?
I agree with you. I'm going to go back to a 4.
Okay. And I also wonder if Jack is dead, which he might not be. I mean, we got a few characters. I'm sure Fanny Porter would pop up again as the the head mistress of the whorehouse.
I think Jack's alive still.
I would like to think
yeah,
that he is.
You have to eat. They have to get meat back up because they're gonna. There's a love story, right? There's eventually going to be a love story here.
I think so.
You know what? I love a love story. I'm going to go back to a 5.
Go back to a 5?
Yeah,
All
I'm going
right.
to go back to a 5.
I think I'm going to sit right there with you. I do. I think I enjoyed this. I think it was pretty good. It's tough to think where it
I was
could have
mad
gone.
when I saw the running time on it.
Absolutely,
I was
you
mad.
should be. Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
Were you Jack Maddox? I give it a 5. You give it a 5. And with that, we close the book on Mrs. Sundance, and we will never mention that show again.
Ever.
But join us next time, won't you please, partners, when we discuss the pilot episode of Shivers. Here's a little something to wet your whistle.
It's not about pirates.
I wish there was. Shiver me. A divorced father and his children move into a house haunted by a Revolutionary War-era troublemaker and his Goyle friend.
B+.
You can find the entire episode of Shivers by subscribing to Couch Pilots on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do, Tube. I'm going to keep up with those exercises. I think they're really helping.
I mean, you're doing better.
Thank you.
You're kind of like probably like right now. I was like being on the keto diet. Like
Thank
you're
you.
peaking.
Yes.
But you have to push yourself to get further.
I am in Peking right now, right? Peking, Illinois. You're welcome. If you want to contact the program, you can. Like,
you're not going to.
I don't think there is anything. There's nothing that you and I can do to stop someone from contacting us.
And there's nothing that you or I can do besides give an email address,
Right.
a phone number to call. Other than that, there's nothing we can do. And obviously, we are not doing anything more to that.
Right. Yeah. You and I have put in the maximum amount of effort that we're able to do. Go to couchpilotspodcast.com. It is our website. We own it. Nobody can take that away from us.
No, we just renewed it, by the way.
Just renewed it.
There was one domain lived and one domain died
Right.
recently.
Not sure what that means.
GoDaddy said, "Hey, you gonna pay for both these?" I said, "No, I'm gonna pay for one."
What's the one that died?
Broken Funny Bone?
R.I.P. BP. BB. Broken Funny. BF.
BFF.
We're on Facebook, Twitter.
You're my BFF.
Hey, you know what? And you're my friend. Call us at 910-PILOTS-1. It's 910-745-6871. Give us a call. Leave us a message. You like the show? Did you not like the show? Do you know about a pilot that we don't know about? Do you want to tell us how you changed oil in your car? The best methods to do that. I'm always up for some interesting.
Do you want to roast us?
Yeah.
Roast
us.
Call us up and roast us.
Yeah. Tell Blake he's a handsome man. Really give him a false sense of security.
Do you like my new haircut?
No, it's the same as your old haircut. It's a great haircut, but it's not new. You can support us on Patreon if you want. Just go there and search Couch Pilots. There's a bunch of different stuff that we'll do for you, or at least say we'll do for you if you give us money. Blake, do you have a message of positivity before we leave today? Something about your haircut, maybe?
Yeah. Basically,
Tell us about your haircut.
yesterday was my birthday.
Oh, that's right. The 60th.
You didn't say anything about it on this episode, and you know what? No, you shut your mouth.
Oh, okay.
My message of positivity is sometimes you have a best friend that doesn't think ahead, and that's okay because you're still best friends. And it's a big day in your life. There's two holidays that you like in the year: your birthday and Father's Day.
Right.
And your best friend, who is the world to you, forgets about it. And when you do a podcast, so
well, it is.
That's the message of positivity.
It is March 2nd. I will say that Blake's got a piece of paper that says it's my birthday, and it says final draft at the top. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
It is March 2nd, I should say. We're recording this on the 2nd of March, so I will say happy birthday when the time comes. I should have mentioned it. I apologize for not making the entire show about you. 45 and still is crying about his fucking birthday. This pilot. Go ahead, you do it. Oh, God.
This pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight on Couch Pilots. We'll see you next time. Good on you.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.